Okay, let's get right into it. Buying a home right now, yeah, it can feel pretty overwhelming. Prices seem high, interest rates are up, and it's easy to get discouraged and feel like you're totally priced out. But here's the thing, people are still doing it. Young families, just like yours, are figuring it out and getting the keys to their first home. And in this breakdown, we're going to show you exactly how they're pulling it off. It really is the biggest question on everyone's mind, isn't it? How in the world is anyone affording a house in this market? It feels like you need some kind of secret handshake or a winning lottery ticket, but the truth? It's not about luck at all. It's about having the right strategy. So take a deep breath because we have a plan. And these aren't just theories or wishful thinking. These are proven, expert-backed strategies that buyers are using right now to make homeownership a reality. We're going to walk you through it step by step. Our home buying game plan is built on 4 key pillars. First, we'll cover getting yourself prepared before you even start looking. Second, we'll dive into the smart financing tools that are out there. Third, we'll talk about how to negotiate in today's market. And finally, we'll look at how to leverage your network of support. Let's jump in. First things first, the prep work. The journey to affording a home doesn't start on some real estate app. It actually starts with you by strengthening your own financial foundation. Honestly, this is the single most important step you can take. Your credit score is basically the key that unlocks affordability. It has a direct impact on how much you can borrow, and even more importantly, how much that borrowing is going to cost you. A higher score means a lower interest rate, which means a lower monthly payment. Simple as that. The playbook is straightforward, but you can't skip it. Pay every single bill on time, actively work to lower your existing debt, and keep those credit card balances as low as possible. This is how you build the financial muscle you're going to need. Okay, so once you've built that strong financial base, let's move on to our second pillar. Now we're getting into the toolbox, the smart financial products that can dramatically lower your costs and bring a home well within your reach. A really key tool that buyers are using right now is the adjustable rate mortgage, or you'll hear it called an ARM. The way it works is pretty simple. It gives you an initial interest rate that's way lower than a standard 30-year fixed loan. Then, that lower rate is locked in for a set period, usually 5, 7, or even 10 years, which gives you a much more affordable payment right at the start. And look, this isn't some obscure financial trick. ARMs have become a totally mainstream strategy for affordability. Right now, they make up nearly 21% of all new mortgages. That's the highest they've been in 3 years. So a lot of people are using this play. The best way to think of an ARM is as a bridge to affordability. The game plan is to use that lower initial rate to get into the home you want now, with the clear intention of refinancing into a new loan down the road when rates hopefully come down. It's a strategic move, not a forever loan. Now, here's another really powerful tool, a rate buy-down. This gives you immediate relief on your payments. Essentially, you or even the seller pays an upfront fee to the lender. In exchange, your interest rate is bought down, usually by about a full percentage point for the first year. This gives you critical breathing room when moving costs and all those new expenses are at their absolute highest. And please do not leave free money on the table. So many buyers, especially first-timers, have no idea that down payment assistance programs even exist. The average benefit is a staggering $18,000. Seriously, look into your local or state housing agencies to see that you qualify for. It could be a total game changer. Okay, so once you have your financial strategy locked in, it's time to actually engage with the market. And the good news here is that the power dynamic has fundamentally shifted. It's shifted in favor of buyers, and that's creating a ton of new opportunities. Remember just a few years ago, it was a seller's feeding frenzy with crazy bidding wars and people waiving inspections? Well, that era is over. Today, we are in a buyer's market, and that means more homes to choose from, less competition, and most importantly, real, actual room to negotiate. And we're not talking about a couple $1,000s here. In the past year, buyers successfully negotiated an average of 8% off the seller's asking price. Haggling is back, and believe me, it is one of your most effective tools for making a home more affordable. Here's another hidden opportunity, insurance. Believe it or not, recent changes in how condo and rural property insurance is regulated can lead to some serious savings. If you're thinking about buying in these areas, you could find your monthly insurance bill is significantly lower, which reduces your total housing cost over the long haul. It's definitely something to ask your agent about. This brings us to the final piece of our puzzle. And this one isn't a financial product or a market condition, but it might just be the most impactful element of all, your personal support system. Let's just normalize this whole conversation. Asking your family for help isn't a sign of failure, it's just a modern reality. Nearly a quarter of young home buyers get some kind of financial assistance from their family, and over 21% get a cash gift specifically for their down payment. Buying a home has become a team sport. And you can see that teamwork showing up in another major way: multi-generational living. In 2024, a record-breaking 17% of all home purchases were for multi-generational households. It just makes sense. By pooling resources, families are making homeownership accessible when it might otherwise be out of reach. Now, as we wrap up, let's put interest rates into perspective for a second. A rate around 6.5% might feel really high compared to the unbelievable lows we saw a few years ago, but it's actually right in line with the 20-year historical average. The chances of us seeing 3% rates again are, well, they're extremely remote. And this brings us to the single most important mindset you can possibly adopt. I really want you to remember this phrase. You marry the house, but you date the rate. You find the right home for your family, that's the long-term commitment. The interest rate, that's just temporary. You can, and most people do, refinance it in the future. Look, the path to owning a home today isn't easy, but it is clear. By preparing your finances, using these smart mortgage tools, negotiating from a position of new strength, and leaning on your support system, you absolutely can make it happen. The strategies are right here. So the only question left is the one on the screen. Are you ready to take your first step?